So I'm here at my local Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram dealership, and I decided to see what all the fuss is. And they have a stage 2 as well. I got to see if I can get in this and look at it and maybe even drive it. I wonder if the guy will let me, but here it is. And when you see it in person, it is a big car. I like big cars, so this is right up my alley. Whether I can afford it or not, that's the question. Like the silver paint, wheels are pretty cool. Stage 2, like I said, that's cool. Yeah, we'll get into the interior. Got the front zog on there. This is interesting. I wonder if it has any aerodynamic reason for that. I wonder if it actually does downforce with that or anything. Here we go, in here. They got it under lock and key. An actual sister. Harkens back to the pistol grip a little bit. I like. It's all dash and infotainment in here. There is. I mean, there's decent room in the back here. This is cool. This is really cool. Going in. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but nah, you can't see it, but it's hard to see, but there is an electric motor down there. No, that's the steering rack down there, excuse me. Then of course the obligatory button, just in case you get caught in that. Safety. Safety.
Yeah. And if you were a Smurf, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. So they wouldn't actually let me drive it. It's a stage 2. It's very expensive. They wanted a credit check and everything before they would let me get in it. So I wasn't able to drive it, but it is a really good car. Like, I like the interior just by the looks. I like the look of it. I like the I like the leg room in the back. I like the layout and the design of it. It's really attractive. It's really making me rethink, do I need a truck that bad? Do I want to wait for the Ram electric, or do I want to just go on ahead and do one of these? Not necessarily the stage 2. I don't know if I can afford that, but like an RT version or something. So, something to think about. Okay, update. I was able to go to another Dodge dealership, Doggett Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram here, and salesman there helped me out and let me do a test drive of it. Shout out to Richard Gibson. He was very kind and very forthcoming with as much information as he could about the car, so very knowledgeable person. I got to test drive it just around the dealership, and I've got some thoughts. The ride quality was nice in the car, even on the rough roads around the dealership. I felt very comfortable. It felt like it handled it really well. When I first listened to the Fratsonic exhaust, or Fratsonic chambered exhaust, I think it's called, I heard it on YouTube, and it sounded a little electric to me. And that makes sense, because with an engine, you have an analog wave, sound wave coming out of that. And with that, it's a digital noise box making it through a chamber, so the wave goes like that. And you can kind of hear that, I guess, more on YouTube. But in real life, it didn't sound that, what I call, electric. However, I did find that I enjoyed driving the car more with it turned off. That I don't know. To me, it just kind of got annoying after a little bit. The interior was comfortable and very nicely optioned. Everything on the computer, because there's only buttons for the AC now. Everything's on the computer. Everything was pretty easy to find. I went in there and searched and found how to turn the exhaust off on my own without help from the salesman or anything like that from Richard. So navigating that wouldn't be a problem. It'd take me probably 5 minutes to figure out. The car felt confident in the corners, especially for how big it was. I was very surprised, and I think that's part of the all-wheel drive and the suspension, I was doing a stage one, or the car I was testing was a stage one, so it might be feel a little bit different on the lower model RTs or even on a higher stage two model. But I felt like it was confident. It felt very good in the corners. There was a lot of torque on hand. Now, I had never driven an electric car before. I had ridden in them. And so I've ridden in a Tesla Plaid. I know what that feels like. And it's probably not to the level of Tesla Plaid for sure, but it's still a lot. It'll, like, I gave it just a little bit of throttle, what you would normally give for like passing someone, and it threw me back in the seat. So I was very impressed with that. You can also see pretty well out of the car. I didn't notice any blind spots that were giving me trouble, but we only backed it up once, and I used the backup cam, so that helped out. I didn't really have to look back as much. Yeah, very, very good open views of everything that I could see. Overall, I think it's a great car, and I would definitely see myself in one. I would love to have one. However, the cost is a little prohibitive right now. I think the stage one that I saw was base price 70, and then they were taking off 3,000 right now for something and 7,500 for something else. So it came out to around 60, but that's still cost prohibitive for me right now for buying a new car. So when the time comes to buy a new car, we'll see what the deals are and see if we can get me one. But anyway, so that's kind of my wrap up on the Dart Charger Daytona. I like it overall. I am a little bit different. I am, an old car guy, and I love internal combustion, but these things are just fun, and I really like them. So I'd like to see what Dodge does with this to improve it over time. Anyway, that's my wrap up on the new Dodge Charger. Like and subscribe if you like more of this content. Comment below, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you later.